In this video, we are going to learn about the date time operations. For example, you have a Excel. In the Excel, you have got name, you have got date of birth. Now, in this, you have to calculate the age. This will be slightly tricky and lot of things to learn from this. All you have to do, continue to this video. So let's get started. Let's go to UiPath Studio. So I'm back on my UiPath Studio designer panel. Here I have the build data table. Click on data table. I'm going to show you the simple data I have kept. I have kept three names and I kept three different dates. And then I'm going to save this to a variable called employee DT. Simple. After this, let's type invoke code and hit on enter and start creating few arguments here. Click on edit argument. The very first argument we will create in underscore employee DT. That means I'm going to pass this data table. Okay, select the type as data table, and then here I'm going to pass the employee DT data table. As an output, I'm expecting an output data table. I will say out underscore employee DT. And the direction has to be out. Here you have to select data table, and I'll create another data table called control plus K out employee DT. Okay, hit on tab, enter, and then hit on tab and click on OK. So now the arguments are created. Let's click on edit code and expand this code, and let's write a title. What is this for? We are going to calculate the age. So vv.net code to calculate age. Okay. Now, first of all, let me go back to the data table once again. What are the columns we have? So I have the first name column, and then I have a date of birth column, DOB column. Do I have an age column here? I don't have an age column. First of all, let's write the code to add age column. Okay. Now here I'll put a comment. Check if age column, okay, column not present, add a new column. Okay. So how will you do this? So for this, I will be taking help of a if command. Okay. So I'll say if, what I am going to check, if not, right? If the column is not present, so I'll say if not, what is the data table name? In employee DT dot columns, I'm going to check the columns dot contains. So what does this mean? The data table column contains what? Age. If it does not contain, then what you do? So not means if does not contain age. If not, right? So if not, so if the age column is not present in the employee data table, then what you do? You need to add it. Where will you add it? In the same employee table you need to add it. So I'll write the data table again, columns dot, I'll use a add function. So employee data table columns add. So what column would you like to add? Simply the age column. So once you write the column, it is also important to define the type of it. Column name you have given, you also need to define the type. What type of? Is it an integer? What it is? So for that, you simply say get type, and within parenthesis, you say integer. So I'm defining the column is of an integer data type. Clear? And then once you have written if, then you have to end the if. So with that, you have added what? You have added a new column. So first section is completed. What is the next section? You have to loop through. So the next is loop through the data table and calculate age. This is our next action. Simple. So when you learn stage by stage, it becomes easy to remember, easy to understand. So first of all, what we have done, added the column. Now we have to loop through. Now to loop through a data table, yesterday we have already seen this as an exercise. How you do it? You simply say for each. Then you create a variable, anything you like. Here I'm writing row, and when you create a variable, you have to say as what kind of a variable it is. It is a data row kind of a variable. So for each, I created a variable, data row variable, for each data row in the data table. What is the data table name? Employee data table. Dot rows. You have to go through each row inside the data table. So each row, this dot row would give each row from the data table and pass it to the variable called row. That's simple. So when you write a construct, for each construct, you have to also end it. Okay. So next you have to write. So the loop is complete here. Now within this, we are going to write few code. Within the loop, we are going to write the code. Okay. Now first of all, you saw, let me click on OK. Let's go back to the data table. DOB column contains all the, but what kind of a data it is a string data type. So if it is string, I need to convert that string into date time data type. So without converting to date time data type, it will not be possible to subtract and all those things, because string, so string minus string, what will you get? So you have to convert that to date time and then do the subtractions. Go back to the code and I'm going to write something here. Okay. So now our main is to calculate the age. So current year is 2025. My date of birth, for example, 2000. So 25 minus 2000. So around 25 years my age. So I have to subtract. So for that, I have to first convert the data type into date time. So how will I do it? So which one contains? So I'll create a variable here called dim date of birth. What I'm creating? I'm creating a variable called date of birth as date time. Okay, date of birth is date time, date time. Okay, date of birth is date time is equals to, I need to convert the data coming from the employee data table. How will I convert? So for that you have to simply say date time, right, dot parse. So parse means what? You are converting the string into date time, and where you have your string you have to write it. So it is there in the row variable and you have to define the column name. You getting it? So date time, why I'm saying row here? Because I am looping through. So the row is contains each row from the data table. So row, and in that row there is a column called DOB that contains certain value. What you do, you convert that value to date time. Date time parse means convert a string to date time. So now what happens? Now this DOB variable is now having a proper date time. Okay, so whatever you saw, it was in string, now it is converted into proper date and time through this particular line of code. So after converting, to calculate the age, let me also create a variable called dim age as integer, because now when you have to calculate an age, that's integer, right? Integer is equals to, what I will do, current, so I'll say date time dot now. So what happens? Date time dot now means today's date. Today is January 2025, 24th of January 2025 today. So date time dot now means it will give you today's date time, the current today's date time it will give. So date time dot now, then what I will do, I'll simply say year, the year, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this DOB. Just now we converted this one DOB dot year. because it's a datetime kind of object. So datetime or a variable you can say, okay. So datetime variable dot year. So that means it will only find out from my date of birth. For example, my date of birth is 2000. I born in, let's say, 2000. So current year is what? 2025. So 2025 minus 2000. Okay. So here I'll write a comment just to understand. So date time now dot year means what? What you will get here? 2025 minus what you will get here, your date of birth. For example, the date of birth is 2000. You born in 2000, let's say. So what is the output you are getting? 25. So it's just like integer. 2025 minus 2000. You got the value as 25. Clear? So you got value as 25. Now 25. Now think. So what is today's date? Today is 2025 January to 24. Today is 24. The date is 24 today. Let's say your date of birth is 2000, okay, 2001 January, but it is on 25th. It is on tomorrow. It is not today. If it is tomorrow, can you tell your age is 25? No, only when tomorrow comes my age will become 25. Today my age is still 24. Are you able to is it making sense? So my date of birth is tomorrow, 25th, not 24. Today is 24th. So if I simply minus, here I am just doing a minus, right? Date, time, year, now, year. So what is the output? It is giving 25. But my age is still not 25 because today's date is 24th. My birthday is tomorrow. You simply cannot minus the year. So in that case, we have to write one more line of code. So what I will do here, let me write. You're getting it? Why I'm writing it? Let me write one more line of code using if. So I'll say if what I want today. So what is today? So I will say date time, okay, dot date time dot now. Okay, today is this, right? Date time dot now. So this is today. So if today is less than, for example, in this case you compare to tomorrow is my birthday, is less than date of birth. So your DOB, now tell me what your DOB contains. Your DOB is this 2125. Okay, so I cannot compare with 2000 because 2000 is always less than 2025 will be always greater than this, right? 2000. So what I have to do, this DOB I need to convert something like this. Okay, so DOB needs to be converted for this year. So this year your birthday will fall on 2025 01 25th, correct? So current year birthday, so this is date of birthday, I'll say current year birthday, CYB I will say. Okay, so you have to calculate the CYB. Current year birthday is 2000, your date of birth is 2000, but current year birthday is what? This. So let's create a variable here. I'll say dim, okay, current year birthday as date time. Current year birthday as date time. So how would I convert it to current year? All I will do, the DOB that I have, the date of birth that I have, right, which is containing 200125. In this, all I will do add year. What I will do, add years. I'm going to add years. I'm going to add 25 here. So date of year is what? 2000 plus 25. It will give me the current year, correct? So all I will do, I'll simply add it here. So what is the output of this? Tell me. What would be the output of this? Okay, let me explain by writing a comment here. Okay, so the output of this is what? So what you did, your date of birth dot add years. That means your date of birth is 2000 plus 20. This is your date of birth, correct? When you say add years, you are adding the years. And what is the value in age? Just now we did it here, right? Date, time, year, now dot date. So what is the output? It has given 25, for example. So you are going to add 2000. Okay, 2000 plus 25 is equals to, the year will become 2025 and your date, month will remain the same, your date would remain the same. So current year birthday, so the output CYB is going to now contain 2025 January 25th. So all I am doing when I am writing add year's age, so date of birth, in that you have a year, in that you add the number. So what is the number? 25 you add, so current year it will anyways come. So I got the current year birth date. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm just going to compare it. If date time dot now is less than CYB, current year birthday. Okay, so today is 24. If it is less than, then what I should do? Then you should age equals to age minus 1. For example, today, now take this example. Okay, so today is what? 2025 01 24. Today is the date. Okay, this is the date. And what is my current year birthday? My current year birthday is what? 2025. Month is January, but it is on 25th. So that means this 24th date is less than 25th. If it is less than, then what I am doing, the age that we have calculated 25, so 25 minus 1, 24 is my age. Tomorrow I'll become 25, but today it is 24. Okay, so that is how it is calculated. And then all you have to do here, I am going to simply end if. Okay, end if. Now, once you have calculated the age, let's say you calculated, okay, your age is 24. Now you have to add that back to your data table. Now to add that back to the data table, you are still inside of for each loop. Do you see? So here what I will do, I'll use this variable row and I am going to use a parenthesis and write the column age, because we have just added the column age, right? In the data table, we have added this. So I'm writing that age. Then what you do in this column, you add the value from the variable age. Okay, this variable you add it here. Okay, if this is not true, then yeah, it is going to add the value from here. Dim age, this one directly, it can add 25. For example, my birthday is on 23rd, then it will not come to this in condition at all. Okay, so now the column is getting added through the loop. Now once the loop is complete, I have created a variable called out underscore employee dt is equals to in underscore employee dt. So it is, I'm going to pass the value to the data type. Okay, pretty simple code. We have written it. Now let me slightly minimize so that you can see the entire code. Okay, so dim dob as date time. Okay, something written on the top, leave that. Okay, so now you can see everything has been written properly. This is the code with the comments also. I'm going to click on OK. And now, okay, let's see what is the error. Option strict disallows implicit conversion from object to string at line 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So DOB as date time. Okay, so here, see, here what you have to do, forgot, you have to write toString. Okay, toString, because this is a string value, right? So you are converting that. That's it. Okay, so the error is gone. Now let's use a output data table. Simple. And then write out employed data table. And I'm going to write this to a variable control plus K. I'll create a variable called text dt. I'm converting the data table into text format, and then I want to print it. So I'll say message box, and here let's print the text dt. This is such an important exercise. for you to understand how it works. Okay, so now let's look at the data table. See, we have this example 2024. So he's 24 means today is 24. Okay, so his calculation should actually come 25th age. Okay, let's see, let's run it. Okay, so you can see Mikhail's age is 25. Like that, other age is also calculated. So you can see 25 it has come because today is 24th. What I will do, I will change this value to 25th tomorrow. Tomorrow is 25th. Okay, so I'll 25th. So today still my age is 24 years, right? Not 25, because my birthday is tomorrow, not today. So if I run this, what is the, now you can see from 25, now it has changed itself to 24. So with this, our entire exercise of, date time operations we have completed. Very important exercise. I hope you have learned something new in this video. Please do comment in the comment section of this video so that I know people are learning from all these exercises. Please do comment and let me know. So with this, our exercise is complete.